other employees that got like these commissions and stuff for all the things that happened in the Nemo merger, and was like, "Where's IT stuff? We did all this work and made it work, and here we're like, okay, good job, guys."
Hey, you didn't get a pizza party?
Nope.
You didn't even get a pizza. That was like...
Well, I stole pizza from everyone. Everyone knows me now over there. Like, I went to each of the locations, and now they're just really familiar with my face, and so they kept offering me food. It was great.
Oh, well, that's good.
I really like them. They're good people. So,
well, that's nice.
Don't include that in the recording, by the way.
Well, the problem is now that we've got to kill 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Oh, I could do that.
Let's talk about...
Stab, and kill, and flesh. What?
What the freaking heck was that?
He said you got to kill 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So I was stabbing
I see what you're saying.
and killing.
Josh was trying
So
his very best.
you're doing your best there.
Hey, do you know what we can talk about?
Let's talk about that.
Our freaking trip,
Our
bro.
vacation.
We have been gone.
No, we should wait until we actually start.
I was going to say it might be worth because right now it's like
I will say the fact that we related ourselves to hippos makes me happy.
Hey, yeah. The only reason I didn't keep that up with the well, we can talk about it.
I say I have what's the word when you're mad at you?
Mad at yourself?
No, mad at your brothers.
I don't
Vendetta.
Not vendetta.
Vindictive?
I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh, I see.
So
About me kissing you?
yes, and me looking like I'm in sheer ecstasy as it's happening.
It is quite literally my favorite
So
photo.
I was acting passed
ever.
out on the log ride. And so here I am thinking, oh, that's fun. And my son next to me is just looking horrified. And
Yes.
and then all of a sudden I look on our Facebook and I see that I am
In
not
bliss.
looking like I am passed out, but rather looking like I am just enjoying the experience as Josh is kissing me on the cheek.
And that's really rude that you removed my wife, who I was kissing on the
I
ride.
was protecting everybody.
By the way, you didn't add this one.
I didn't add that one. I apologize.
What is that one?
It was the mystery machine was in front of Epic Universe.
Oh, yes. Scooby-Doo.
Oh. Yeah, we're close enough. Let's get started. Hey. Welcome to the Twaddling Along Podcast. We are back. What was that?
Nothing I can't share.
No, I see. A great thing to be doing in the middle of
Josh
a
is
podcast.
looking up at inappropriate things on his phone.
Josh.
It was a picture I took, but I didn't realize where I was. And then I realized.
Just in the bathroom. Bathroom selfie. Hey, I'm Dan McBride, the host of this wild ride here with my brothers and co-hosts, one Joshua McBride
What's up?
and Jake McBride.
I did not enjoy the kiss from Joshua.
I have to say, considering I edited that on my phone, I was pretty proud of myself.
What? And we were in the line, weren't we? Like,
We
and you just
were.
It was pirates.
Yep,
think,
I
or
was
something.
just editing away.
No,
and
we were in
having
Small
a good time.
World. That's where it was.
Is that where it was?
I think so.
Well, Danny then took the video in Small World. Do you know what I wish I would have done? Because I just looked horrified the whole time. I wish I had put in a little bit of a left eye twitch.
Oh, on the
During the
Small World. Do you
Small
know
World.
that we...
Well, the
that,
flicker of the video makes you guys look like you're twitching.
it officially on Instagram, we have like over, I think, 1,800 views
For that one?
for that one. Yeah,
Did we really?
You guys are famous.
I was gonna have a quick look and see where
I
we're
wasn't
at.
involved.
You
It's
weren't.
because you were sitting in the front, weren't you?
No, I was sitting behind you guys.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, if it makes you feel any better, Jake, the Brotherly Love in Disney World didn't perform quite as well as our video.
That's good.
That's
Our
right.
hippo didn't do very well either, even though it had the most likes.
You know what I'm most irritated about?
What?
The Pirates of the Caribbean picture. Here I am feeling really good about myself.
You were the shortest.
And not only did I appear to be the shortest, but I just let my stomach out in that picture. And it was
We all did. Remember? That was what I said to do.
Did you say to do that?
Yes.
Yes.
I said relax your
It
stomach
was one
and
of
take
those
a
where it's like,
picture.
I've lost freaking 25 pounds and I just ruined my self-image in that picture.
Jake,
Thanks, Josh, for the commentary.
The
So
end.
we are officially back from Disney World, which means that we are 2 weeks out of practice of doing a podcast. If you can't tell, coming back has been kind of difficult.
What's a podcast?
Who are we? We're the Twaddling Along Podcast. Podcast.
Danny can't even say podcast anymore.
By the way, Danny, your Mike Haggerty or Haggerty is the worst one.
Oh, I thought it was really funny.
I think it's funny, but no one else got it.
I know no one else got it. It made me sad.
I must have missed that one. What was that one?
It's the one where I compared myself to the janitor from Friends.
Oh, yes. I like that one.
Thank you.
I thought it was great. It only got one like.
It did not give very many likes, unfortunately.
And I'm pretty sure it's your mother-in-law.
It probably
No,
is.
it's your wife.
She knows.
I do like your mother-in-law. She
understands.
comments like 4 or 5 times.
The fact
Yes,
that I
it's my
said I
favorite.
don't like PDA. And
then
she
she's
was like,
"What is
what's PDA?
I love it. I don't even know if she actually listens to our podcast or not. She just likes commenting on the Facebook and
She's
Instagram.
It's so
happy.
wonderful because we all grew up with your mother-in-law.
Yes, that's true.
She's lovely.
That is very true. Hey, we're not talking about Disney World right now.
Or
We're
are
not?
we?
I thought we were trying to
can.
kill time because
No.
Josh didn't study.
And Josh didn't study. And it's Josh's turn to do this. Josh,
Okay.
what are we talking about?
Fee, fi, fo, fum. Who's the most cutest of them?
I am.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. Who's the cutest of
Them.
them?
Yes.
I
A
see.
famous Shakespearean quote from what we're kind of talking today. And that's beanstalks. We're going to talk about beanstalks, everybody.
You know what? Can I, just to do another quick aside,
Yeah.
I am now approaching 40 years old.
Yes.
It's getting really, really close.
We're really looking forward to it. Josh and I have plans.
I'm not going to be in the country when it happens, so good luck with that.
Oh,
Hey,
it will
wait.
follow
Can
you.
I come with you? Because I'll be turning 30 the week after.
You will, but 30's good.
I don't know, man. 30's the new 60.
30's the new. Then what's 40? The new 80?
More like death.
I
Seriously.
have to admit, after I turned 30, my body kind of just shot the heck.
Oh, well.
And since that point, I've had a gallbladder removed, a colonoscopy.
Here's my problem. See, the thing is
Back pain.
even though I'm the youngest, I see you guys have pains, and so I have sympathy pain. So I'm already old.
You're an empathetic pain
Yeah.
person. I see.
So what you're saying is I shouldn't be sharing you all my...
Well, the thing is, you have your gallbladder out, and I'm like,
Is my gallbladder hurting?
I think my appendix just burst.
I do have that all the time. When Jake had his gallbladder, I was like, my gallbladder's kind of hurting.
Or when Danny went to get snipped, I was like, ooh, I have a burning.
in his bosom, everyone.
Thanks-
in his bosom.
Thanks for letting the whole world know that I've been snipped.
It's worth sharing.
It's true. What I was going to say is that ever since I have been getting older, I have found that I've started to enjoy beans more.
Beans.
Really?
Those
The
nasty
musical
things.
Oh, which one do we want to do first? The musical fruit.
Kidneys? Or kidney beans, not kidneys themselves.
You terrible person.
Pinto beans? I love them. I eat them like just by themselves.
Pinto
now.
beans just taste like dirt in a mush.
Who named kidney beans?
I don't know. They do look kind of like a kidney.
Adam.
That's what I want to know. Was it a grave digger that just went, do you know what that looks like?
It's Leonardo da Vinci cut it open. He's like, the kidney bean.
When in reality, it was the appendix. Ah, freak.
Is there an appendix bean? Someone look it up. Are there any other beans named after internal organs?
The ribs.
My liver bean.
This just brought up appendicitis.
Oh, I have been having some pains down there.
Kidney bean. Okay, so what were we talking about again? Oh, yes.
Well,
Beans
you were
named
fee
after
fi
organs.
fo
Fee,
fum.
fi, fo, fum. Who's the cutest of them?
Them. Not them. Them.
Them. Thum. Shakespeare was really brilliant in his writing.
Why do you keep saying Shakespeare? Shakespeare had nothing to do with this.
It's literally, look, it says, and I quote, there is an allusion to Jack the Giant Killer in William Shakespeare's King Lear, where Act 3, one character, Edgar, in his feigned madness cries, fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of a British man. Well, that doesn't rhyme. I like mine better.
British mun.
British man.
Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
So let's talk about that. Why do you think he wanted to grind bones to make bread?
Brones.
Okay, everyone.
You and Danny are doing really good with your
If you've guessed,
pronunciations
we're
right
talking
now.
about Jack.
It does feel like that.
And
It feels
it's
like we're talking about Jack right now.
I like to add the word diddly after that.
Jack Diddley. And I'll add squat.
Jack Diddley Squat.
No, we're talking about big people.
Not just any kind of big people. Because I'm fairly large myself, and I don't think we're talking about me.
Well,
Or
the fact
are
that
we
took a picture of hippos and it looked more like us than not. I think we could
The
classify
hippo
this
picture
as
was
a...
about my favorite.
Danny was so excited. Danny's
I
like, did
was
someone get the picture?
So excited.
By
when
the
there
way,
was
that
three
was
hippos.
by me. I was rather proud of it.
You did very good, Jake.
Thank you.
Okay, well, let's actually talk about what we're talking about today. We're talking about feet.
We aren't, Josh.
Oh, we're not?
Josh, seriously, we gotta get to this here.
So we're talking about toes. Just kidding. We're talking about freaking giants who have big toes and big feet.
Sometimes 6.
And sometimes 4.
4?
I don't know who, but there's one out there.
They're talking about the toes and fingers, everyone, not the feet themselves. That would have been a little awkward for
4
the
feet?
giant 6 feet walking around. Oh my gosh, it's an insect. Oh, wait.
Anyway, so we're talking about giants today. And here's why we're talking about giants. About 6 hours ago.
Why are we talking about giants, Josh?
Well, first off, it's supposed to be our paranormal podcast.
It is.
Yeah, this isn't paranormal. This is more like a historical
Folklore.
Yeah. But about 6 hours ago, my brothers texted me and said, "Hey, you're supposed to be leading this crap. What are we doing?" And I just so happened to be watching a documentary on Andre the Giant. And I said, perfect. The 8th wonder of the world.
Andre the Giant.
Andre the
Giant. And then there was a
completely
typo.
forgot to tell us Andre the
Yeah.
was taken out, and now it's just giant.
There was a typo, and I missed Andre, and so I just wrote giants. And so I don't know what the heck we're talking about. Because I came prepared for Andre the Giant the whole time with his black leotard.
He did have a black leotard.
Yeah, he did. And the thing is, no one made fun of him because they would have been killed.
Anybody want to beat up? That's my Andre the Giant.
Anybody want to beat up? What the heck
That did
was
sound
that?
a little Jamaican, didn't it? I kind of feel uncomfortable with that. Hey, listen, giants are one of those strange things in folklore that pop up all over the place.
Hey, stop stealing my thunder.
Okay.
Giants are one of those things that keeps coming up and that pop up in folklore everywhere.
Tell us more, Josh.
Well, it comes up in England often, and it comes up in like Iran, the Middle East area. It comes up in the Americans sometimes. Oh, also Ireland. Did you guys know that? The giants in Ireland. They're called anti-leprechauns.
Ah, good old Ireland.
No, let's actually. I feel like what's happening? I don't know. What?
I found out a new word.
What? Gigantopithecus?
Prodigious.
Prodigious.
I'm very excited about this word.
But anyway, giants, as Danny stated, and as I reaffirmed with the exactly same quote, giants are kind of in every single culture. And now are the refrigerators running? Is your refrigerator running?
I need to interrupt it just for a second. Josh is just coming back from having the flu.
The worst sickness of my life.
And when Josh says worst sickness, he looked bad.
He looked real bad. Like, we were actually kind of concerned for Josh's well-being.
Okay, so story time.
But we didn't want to.
Do you know
get
all
close.
the pictures on Florida? I was fine, and then if you notice, they stopped about like Thursday, Friday. That's because that's when I died.
Yeah, really, that's kind of the reason that we all of a sudden stopped with our social media on halfway through our trip was because
Your
Josh
daughter got sick.
my daughter got sick, and so we were sitting in Florida, which, by the way, was about 40 degrees because of some polar vortex garbage.
Freaking Texas.
And so, yeah, freaking Texas.
And I'm sure the question you guys are all asking, well, with Josh and Danny out of the picture, where was Jake? Well, my dear friends, I could care less. I just didn't feel enough for it.
Yeah, so if I just jabber on about absolutely jack diddly squat, it's because I'm still on meds.
It is.
I probably shouldn't have even driven here.
Probably not. I do. Let me just take over for half a second, Josh.
How
if I
about
may.
Jonathan Swift?
Where I was going with the idea of giants being ubiquitous
That's a cool word.
to all of the world's religions, is that we see this pop up really often when we're talking about kind of folklore and mythology. Everybody will remember when we talked very briefly about dragons, or little people, the Duerte, the leprechauns, or the shapeshifters, or, all of the other kind of on the edge of legend, folklore, paranormal stuff that we've talked about. Giants seem to pop up really often, and there's a lot of discussion as to why that's the case. Why is there so many reports of giants, and not just like reports of giants, but a lot of times giants fit a certain niche. They are uncaring, on the edge of being hostile to a hero. They are representing some kind of monumentous thing that's happening in this hero's journey, or in this folklore, or even in this religion, because, giants show up in religions, including our own.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So why? Why giants?
I think they're just small people who, wrote those stories down.
It's funny that you say that, and I know you were kind of half joking, but there is some talk that, people were just a lot smaller, and so when you had megalomaniac, large, people that kind of entered in the thing, even though they could have been only like 6'2", 6'3", they exaggerated their importance in the stories, making them giants when they probably weren't giants. But then there are others who say, oh no, giants were very real and existed.
Well, go ahead, Jake.
I blame prehistoric CSI. Crime scene investigations.
That's true.
Imagine their Mr.
Herodotus.
Farmer Steve going around, and all of a sudden Farmer Steve is digging and plowing his field and comes across this magnificently giant leg bone of something that he was like, I don't know what this is. And for us now, we're like, hey, a mammoth? Yes, that's a mammoth bone. But Steve's going around saying, once upon a time, there was a 40-foot man that just came across here. So, prehistoric CSI.
For any fun fact about this, is like the only fun fact I have the entire day, so enjoy it. But I almost called a monolid.
Monolid?
Cyclops.
They do have monolids, so I think they're okay.
Okay, but Cyclops is a finding of an elephant bone. And if you look at an elephant bone where the tusk is, it looks like it has one eye. So
Trunk.
Did you just say what?
It's not tusk, it's the trunk.
Oh, I didn't.
The tusk.
I thought you said Trump.
That's what I thought you said.
Trump.
Trump. I was
They
like,
make the best Cyclops with the one eye, the best eye.
put me in a maze, bro. Oh, wait, that's the Minotaur. I don't know where
Mon one lid.
But yeah, so I totally get that, Jake. CSI, they probably just were doing their best thing,
Well, I think there is some of that, absolutely. But there's also the idea of, like, up until about the 18th century, people claimed to meet giants all the time.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yep.
So, I mean,
Let's go back to one example. The Giants of Gath.
Ooh.
For all of us Jewish, Christian.
Judeo-Christian.
Yep.
That's a good word, Danny. I like that word.
Judeo-Christian.
Jewish, Christian.
Peoples. There's a story of David. And David was a little guy. He was probably in his teenage years. But he was really tough. He had killed a bear. He had killed a lion. And he was chosen to represent the army of Israel in defeating the people of the Philistines. Now, the Philistines were known as a type of sea people who were not native to the land, that had come from a faraway place, of which we do not know what that place is, and landed there. And they were a group of them, known of people of Gath, were known to be freakishly huge. So much so that that's who they chose as their champion, was a guy by the name of Goliath, who was upwards to in between 9 and 10 feet.
6 cubits in the span.
which cubits is from the very top of your middle finger to the point of your elbow.
So there's a really good chance the Israelites were really short, and he was only like 6'2".
Yeah.
It's very possible.
Yep. But if you take average, like he was, like I said, ginormous. And the thing is he wasn't the only one. Like he was part of a group of people who were
Very
all freakishly huge.
I like this one. Ishbi Banab. That was one of the giants.
Ishbi Banab.
Ishbi Banab. Or Saf. Sipai. Lami. And the one with the 6 fingers and 6 toes was unnamed. How rude.
That's rude.
You know, the one that would stand out probably the most
Poor guy.
just was not named.
So yeah, I mean, it's even written in religious culture. I mean, that's a huge story of the Bible. And in fact, they just made a cartoon.
They did the David cartoon. Has anybody seen that?
I haven't.
I've seen clips of it. It looks really good.
Yeah, it looks really good. Angel Studios put it on.
Interesting.
But yeah, and the thing is there's some historical accounts that mention that these Philistines, that there were a group of the Philistines who were giants.
I think, didn't we talk about where they potentially came from? I seem to remember. I can't remember if that was just a discussion we were having off the podcast.
It was our Pirates podcast that we talked about that.
Where we talked about like them being potentially one of the sea people.
Yeah, and
maybe even from Atlantis.
But these ones are thought to be descendants of what's called the Rephaim, which are described as ancient race of giants or tall, mighty warriors who lived in Canaan and are associated with King Og of Bashan.
That's interesting. Isn't Gilgamesh considered a giant?
Yes, I'm pretty sure he is.
I mean, I think he's half divine or anything. I know that like when it comes to giants are kind of split up into 3 big things. It's either like the primordial creators, like the people that came before the gods now. So, you know, the
Titans.
Yeah, exactly. Titans or the Ymir in the Norse or the Pengu in Chinese. They're the landscape architects. That's really popular in northern Europe. So like in Ireland, they were the people that would, you know, build things. And we can go over some examples here in a minute. The antagonists, the bad people, that's definitely where our Goliath friend kind of falls into. And then there are some that are even the wise and divine. That's where we get the Nephilim. You can talk about the Nephilim in a later time.
Yeah, we'll have to also talk about, it's kind of interesting, there's also thought to be the indigenous tribes here that are have been taught through oral tradition that actually thrived and survived. Of course, they were dangerous man-eating beings, but, you know.
And that's another thing that I've noticed of researching giants.
Sorry.
That is quite the noise, Danny.
Apologies.
Giants make sounds like that in their belly. But no, a lot of giants are almost cannibalistic.
Yeah. I mean, that's where the now I can only think of the monolid. The Cyclops. The Cyclops was definitely in that camp. Right?
But you think the other one is the boogeyman. I mean, for heck's sake, I don't know if he's necessarily giant, but he would come and eat your children at night.
I will have to talk of said boogeyman because I don't know.
I say
that
the Wendigo.
Wendigo
was considered pretty large.
A large one, yeah. I mean, we can even go back to where we talked about Bigfoot and the Yeti. Yeah. And there are native traditions that the Bigfoot was considered the old man of the mountain, and he is just a large man, like a very large, what we would consider giant. So let's pick one. Where are we going first?
Let's go to the Nephilim.
The Nephilim. Josh, tell us about the Nephilim.
Well, Danny, the Nephilim are pretty cool. No, the Nephilim are a religious creature that is found in the apocryphal story of the Bible. So not in necessarily the canonized scripture, but in the book of Enoch. What? Jake's laughing. What'd I say?
Nothing.
Do we need to remove that part?
No, we'll talk about that after.
Canonized? Apocryphal?
That's just such a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints thing to say.
Oh, well, I am a member of the Church of Jesus.
Apocryphal. I think that I don't know if there is a Christian denomination that has the Book of Enoch canonized.
Well, I think it's in the
Catholics were pretty into that.
Do they have it?
I'm not sure.
But anyways, the Book of Enoch, which is not used in most Bibles, have the Nephilim as religious angels, the offspring of religious angels and humans. So they're giants, basically like you could consider demi-angels.
Well,
per se.
so the Nephilim itself is actually, the Hebrew word literally means to fall. And so Nephilim is the fallen ones. And so there's two different things that kind of pop up, especially in some of the apocryphal readings, is one, they are either literally fallen angels, like those who fell to the earth, or they are the offspring of fallen angels and the human women. And that's kind of taken from some pretty radical interpretation of the Bible, specifically like two sections where it said that the sons of God and the daughters of men got together. And they produced great and mighty men and giants. I think it's what it was. I can't remember like the exact scripture. If someone wants to look it up, you please do.
Yeah, but these Nephilim were in some circles considered the reason for the flood, that they were the ones to basically corrupt man and cause it to be wicked enough to be able to have the flood and kill them off.
Did you know that there's another theory?
What's the other theory?
The other theory is that the giants, it's called the Sethite theory, that the sons of God were from the descendants of Adam's son Seth, and the daughters of men were the corrupt descendants of Cain. And that the Nephilim were the children of those two lines intermarrying, the idea being that their intermarriage, because they were so close, caused genetic mutation. That's a really out there one. Yeah, I came across that one and went, what the heck? Where did that come from?
Oh my gosh. But yeah, Nephilim, that's, as Danny said, Judeo-Christian.
Very much.
In nature. But let's move on to like Gilgamesh.
Wait, before we get too far on Nephilim.
We are moving on to... No, I'm just kidding.
Because Nephilim really has some kind of interesting stuff. It's almost worth a whole thing of themselves. But Genesis 6:4. States that there were Nephilim on the earth in those days. This is true,
canonized scripture.
And also afterward.
I'm going to keep using canonized scripture, Jacob.
Meaning that they're in the book of Genesis, when it talks about the flood of Noah, the Nephilim survived the flood of Noah.
Oh, they're good swimmers.
You can, like I said, someone check that for me, because I'm probably just speaking out of my butt.
No, wait, what?
So if you go to Old Testament, Genesis, chapter 6, verse 4, there were giants on the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. The idea being that whole, and also after that, was an allusion to the fact that they survived the flood.
Interesting.
Da-na-na-na.
Yeah, that's the Torah translation that uses Nephilim.
Yep.
But in the King James Version, it translates that term to giants. And so in several people's Bible, it would read the giants were on the earth in those days, not the Nephilim, but there's well,
and it's also where they, I think we already talked about it, but Goliath being the one of the very latter descendants of the Nephilim who were kind of left over.
Mm-hmm. And this carries on to Numbers, where Joshua and the Israelites, the 12 spies who were sent by Moses to look into the land of Canaan, they described the people as being large, so much so that they would not be able to be defeated by the armies of Israel.
Terrifying giants in the land of Canaan.
Yep.
Made humans look like grasshoppers. That's in Numbers. I did a lot of scripture reading.
That's really interesting.
In preparation for this podcast, here I am just perusing some Old Testament.
Well, what's fun for us is, we're actually kind of studying this stuff in our own religion right now.
Yeah.
So, did you know that there was actually a fragmented Dead Sea Scroll that was called the Book of Giants?
Yes, and it confirms a lot of this stuff. That
actually named individual giants, and one of the giants that it named was...
Richard Hess.
Richard
I'm
Hess.
just kidding.
Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh.
Richard. Josh was rather proud of that.
Oh,
Sorry,
boy.
I just read a name that it was just a translator of the Bible who thought that
he was
the Nephilim
he was
were
an
the
Old
offspring.
Testament scholar.
And his name was just so happened to be right there. But it rhymes with Gilgamesh. Richard Hess, Gilgamesh.
So Richard Hess, we don't mean any offense because it looks like he's still around.
He is.
Bless you, Richard Hess.
We've never met. We might never meet. But hey,
But Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is
Gilgamesh.
an interesting story of the Sumerians and the people in the what is called
think, Joshua. Think.
Sumerians?
Fertile
Crescent?
Crescent. The
Yeah.
people of the Fertile Crescent.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm lost.
The Fertile Crescent is Iraq.
Oh,
Well, it's the Middle East. It's prior to the
Iraq. Do you know what you guys should do? Say Middle East.
It is
the Fertile Crescent isn't just the Middle East, but it's
No, I know.
It's the breadbasket of the world. It's where wheat was kind of popped up the first time, and so they call it the Fertile Crescent. So
I've never heard it
It's
called
where
the breadbasket.
the Tigris and Euphrates rivers
Right.
are.
Oh,
correct, which does happen to be in modern day Iraq and
yeah.
surrounding areas.
I think
But
Josh is
Gilgamesh-
delusional.
Gilgamesh was the first epic to be written down, according to many scholars.
He was ruling Uruk.
Uruk.
King of Uruk,
Do you know what Uruk reminds me of?
Lords of the Rings.
Lords of the Rings.
the Urukai.
The Urukai. Oh, now I have to go watch the movie.
I
I'll
agree.
see you guys in 16 hours.
Gilgamesh was 2/3 divine, 1/3 human. Someone explain to me how that makes any sense.
2/3 divine, 1/3 human. Well,
A deity had relations with a woman that was missing 2 arms and 1 leg.
It's actually the opposite. So in Gilgamesh's case, his mother was the goddess and his father was the king. And so her genetics were just so good that he pulled 2/3 of hers and only 1/3 of his mortal father, whose name was King Lugalbunda.
Lugalbunda.
It really is Lugalbunda.
I am King Lugalbunda.
now, for those of you who are wondering where this is taking place in the area of Ur, which is where Abraham's from
Correct?
in the Bible. So it's
They
kind
have
of
some really
all
cool
connects.
names in here.
like
To
Like-
curb Gilgamesh's arrogance, the gods created a wild man named Enkidu.
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 Yeah.
his other name. Gilgamesh's other name is Bill Games.
Bill Games.
Bill.
Bill
Look, it's
Games.
in their bill.
They both defeated the forest guardian Humbumba
Bumbo.
So
That sounds more.
and the bowl of heaven.
what's that slimy creature in Star Wars? Bumbo.
Jabba?
Jabba. The Hutt. Hutties. Thank you. That sounds Hutties, everyone.
okay, so here you want to hear some crazy stuff
Let's hear some crazy
because
stuff.
I inherited a lot of like the Dead Sea Scroll stuff from Grandma and Grandpa McBride.
Okay.
And so in my preparation for this, I came across this whole giant thing that was actually on.
And I just want to point out, Danny doesn't own any Dead Sea Scrolls. He just
No. Sorry.
inherited
Interpretation.
knowledge and interpretation.
Interpretation of the Dead Sea
And
Scrolls.
why this
and-
is important? Our grandparents were really, really phenomenal scholars
Yeah.
of
Yes.
that culture.
Yeah,
And they lived over there.
They lived in Israel. Our grandma speaks ancient
Hebrew.
Aramaic and in Hebrew. Anyway, so I started looking through some of these and tried to see if I could find this giant story that had Gilgamesh in it. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, there is that book of giant that I was talking about. In the Jewish text of this book of giants, Gilgamesh isn't a hero anymore, but he is a monstrous offspring, as we already talked about, probably one of the things they would call the Nephilim. But he is depicted as having disturbing prophetic dreams about the coming of the flood.
Mm-hmm.
He actually discusses it with another giant named Oya, and they discuss their impending doom and realize that they cannot escape the judgment of God. And so they pretty much try to hold themselves up, and then they die.
Dang.
So there's some really things. The other thing is that there's in the, I think it's the book of Genesis, there's the King Og of Bashan that they actually a lot of times will connect directly to Gilgamesh, saying that Gilgamesh was this ancient King Og.
Ooh.
So there's some weird kind of connections between the two, because Gilgamesh talks about a flood.
I see, and there are other folklore traditions around it where Gilgamesh actually, after witnessing the death of Enkidu or whatever, however you pronounce that, sees that he's actually mortal.
Yeah.
And because of that, he seeks out what someone called Utnapishtim, who was a survivor of the Great Flood and wants to get the secret of eternal life from him.
So there's some Gilgamesh it's a pretty deep, pretty heavy thing. The reason that he kind of fits into this whole discussion with the giant is the way that he was described.
Yeah.
He's described as having superhuman strength and being physically just absolutely massive. Being capable of wrestling lions with one hand, yada, yada, yada. So definitely fits into this giant side of things.
Ooh.
Yeah, so giants, it's funny because, a lot of the things that we've talked about in our paranormal are things that are not necessarily true, but are just like folklore and stuff. Where giants, we're kind of on the same page, but there's a lot more historical and mythological content about them in every history book. That it's a lot more possibility that there were a type of giant civilization.
And once again, it's probably not necessarily that they were literally giants.
No.
We think of giants and we do think of like James and the Giant Peach. That's not what we're thinking about.
So you guys remember that giant peach?
Jack
and the Giant Peach?
Giant Slayer.
Oh, okay.
Good heavens to Betsy. That is just ridiculous. Anyways, but they could have just been like really big people.
Yeah.
Like really tall people.
Yeah. For heck's sake, Andre the Giant, the eighth wonder of the world, WWF, WWE, what a guy. He was massive. And it's just because of a literally physical element that he had that allowed him to grow to such massive size.
Well, and you look at like some of the strong men like Brian Shaw, who they're 6'8" and or kind of around that, and just massive and can lift huge amounts of weight. And like you would imagine, there probably was people like that back then that were performing these tremendous feats of strength and being large in stature, and for people to be like, wow, they're giant. I mean,
for heck's sake, the person who created the bench press was known as a freak of nature because he was a very large man in those days, which was only like 6'2", 6'3".
Sure.
But then he also looked ginormous.
Sure.
So people considered him a giant.
And you go back and you actually read some of the original, like the Jack and the Giant Killer, not James and the Giant Peach, that's Roald Dahl, but Jack the Giant Killer. And
did you guys ever watch the movie for James and the Giant Peach?
I loved it. It's one of my favorites.
Did you?
Yes, we
creeped me
We
out.
literally were just talking about this with my son because he's never seen it. It is creepy on purpose, but Roald Dahl is creepy.
I don't know what that is.
Roald Dahl,
That's
the
a
author?
person.
I don't know who that is.
He's related to
Roald Dahl, as in
You keep saying it, and I keep.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Who's that? Just kidding. I know that one.
The Witches, where the kid gets turned into the mouse.
Oh, so did he write BFG too?
Yes.
Oh, I did not know that was the author.
Roald Dahl.
I didn't know he wrote all those.
He did. He's amazing. And he actually talks
Those
about...
are the nightmares that fueled my entire upbringing. Thanks a lot. What was his name?
Roald Dahl.
Roald Dahl.
Well, he actually talks about that. He would, on purpose, write stories for children that were a little on the edge of creepy because he said, you are making children too soft.
You took several steps over the edge, Mr. Dahl.
Oh, no.
The Witches freaking creep the heck out of me.
I love the Witches.
The BFG? Giants eating children? Gosh.
Then they got dropped into the sea eventually.
No, they got dropped into a giant pit, and then two drunk guys climbed over the top, and then you could hear them yell food, and then the crunching of bones. It's in the book.
That's true. That's very true. Where I was going with this.
Roald Dahl.
Though BFG is a good connection between giants and the giants we're talking about.
Oh, there you go.
What I was talking about is that in Jack the Giant Killer, the giant that he kills is actually, they call him, I think it's called Comorum? Let me look and see. Yeah, the Comorum of St. Michael's Mount. It's not. It doesn't just show up in Jack the Giant Killer. Like, it almost seems like it was a real guy who was really big, and he kind of pops up all over the Cornwall, like, mythos. You know, he keeps popping up. So
Cornish
mythos. And it just goes to show you that it could have just been a really tall guy. I mean, if you brought up Brian Shaw. If we didn't have technology and we were just hearing word of mouth that there was a 6'8" giant capable of throwing things over his head that no man could, you would think that he would be legendary or mythological.
Oh, yeah.
And like every retelling of the story, he'll get just a little bigger and he'll get a little stronger and he'll get a little bit more menacing until he's 30 foot tall, throwing horses at barns or something. I don't know.
Those poor horses.
Well, let's shift some gears. Let's talk about the real creeps. And when I say the real creeps, and the reason why they're creeps is because this is archaeologically justified and verified.
Uh-oh.
And it's in our backyard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the red-haired.
The red-haired giants.
The Siteka.
Siteka. So the Siteka were bones of Native Americans that were found in the caves in Nevada, known as Lovelock Cave near Lovelock, Nevada. And they were large skeletons ranging between 6'6" and above, who were legends that that the Native Americans knew that were cannibals, that they'd come out of their caves, kidnap people, and go and eat them. And it was verified. These found human mummified remains in these caves.
Yeah, and the big thing that the thing that they kind of were judging off of were their sandals.
Yeah.
They found these sandals under, 3 to 6 feet of guano.
Which is
bat
poop, which is very toxic and can give you all sorts of diseases.
But it's really good at mummifying things.
Yeah, it does.
But the general size was 6'6" and above. I mean, they were big people.
And they had red hair. And so a lot of the people in the 1800s when this was found believed that there were some sort of giants in the American continent that were white, that lived thousands of years ago. And this is one of the proofs that there probably was. These were white, red-haired people who were eating people.
Well, it's kind of fun because this is one of those stories that they had these myths and legends, and it had been, passed down, where they talked about where all these tribes had people kidnapped by this tribe and eaten, and finally they got together and they chased these people into the cave, and then they ended up catching the end of the cave on fire to kind of smoke and kill the people inside, and that was the legend. It was in writing. Eventually, people actually wrote it down once it kind of got to a point that they could, and then all of a sudden to discover this cave with that was kind of a big deal.
It was.
And here's another crazy thing. Sarah Winnemucca, daughter of Paiute Chief Winnemucca, wrote in 1883 that these red-headed giants, so much so that one of the locks of hair from the giants had been passed down from generation to generation, probably upwards to 500 years, and it was a red-headed lock of hair. And they compared it with what the mummified remains that they found, and found that it was related. That what this story that they had found or had told all these years were these giants in these caves.
Now, the unfortunate part is that, so they found this body of a man, 6 feet 6 inches, big guy, almost 2 meters, and they destroyed the body.
Yeah.
Because The best specimen of the adult mummies was boiled and destroyed by a local fraternal lodge which wanted the skeleton for initiation purposes. It doesn't explain who that lodge is.
BYU.
Or probably. Probably a bit. The why. Yeah, no, the Site Ka is kind of a really interesting thing. There is definitely people out there that say that the Site Ka is kind of overblown.
Yeah.
That it could have just been that it could have been another Native American tribe that was dyeing their hair red, or it was, there wasn't actually red hair. It was just hair that kind of was exposed to the elements, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know. The oral history being what it is and passed down, you have to wonder. However, did you know that in the oral history, it didn't actually talk about them being giants?
Oh, really?
No. It's kind of interesting. So the oral history talks of them being savages and talks about them being like cannibals and being they were, I can't remember if it was like they were very vain with their hair, but they wore like dirty clothes. It's just it's fascinating. Some people, have you ever heard some of like the theories of the Site Ka? Some of the theories of the Site Ka is that it was a lost Viking group. Oh. That kind of found their way down to that area. And
Nevada?
Well, so the crazy thing is so early Vikings performed human sacrifice to Odin. Mm-hmm. They would string people up. Now, Odin was the god of the what was it? The hollow god. What is it called? Where you hang someone. What is it called?
Hanging.
I have no idea.
Where you hang somebody?
Yeah, where someone is hanged. Gallows. There we go. Oh. So he was the god of the gallows.
You mean the device for which they hang them? Oh,
yeah,
I thought you were talking about them.
So they would actually kill people as part of their like religious tradition. And so that could very well easily be misinterpreted as cannibalism if they're stealing a kid from the local tribe to hang up for, Odin.
And here's another crazy thought that relates to that is in the eastern United States over in the Mississippi Valley, the specimens that have been found near and around the mounds. So the mound people that lived around 0 BC and around that area were also of similar dimensions to those of the Site or the Site Ka. They were large, most likely Caucasian, and many of the mummified bodies in the area had red hair.
Ooh.
And so they believe that there is possibility that they were also possibly a lost Viking tribe.
Well, there's also, looks like even down in South America, they've found mummies that have red hair. So, red hair. I knew I wasn't alone in America with my red. I don't really have super red hair. I just have a red beard.
But here's another thing that I want to bring up. I don't know how much time we have left, but in Africa, there are several tribes where the males of those tribes are taller than the average person.
Yes.
So a lot of the tribes, the men are upwards to 6'3", 6'4" as a standard and above. And that has been how it is forever. A lot of these African tribes are just taller people. And so it begs the question, did they descend from a giant class of group of people that just over time have shrunk just a little?
It might be. Their names are the Nilotic people. And they're in South Sudan, and they are very, very tall.
Yep.
Have you guys ever heard of the Patagonians?
I like the name.
South America?
Yeah. Or the Patagons or the Patagonian giants?
No.
Ferdinand Magellan was cruising around the world, having himself a grand old time in 1520. And he wrote in his journal that one day we suddenly saw a naked man of giant stature on the shore of the port dancing and singing and throwing dust on his head. Magellan sent one of our men to the giant so that they might perform the same actions as a sign of peace. Having done that, the man led the giant to an inlet where the captain general was waiting. When the giant was in the captain general in our presence, he marveled greatly and made a sign with one finger raised upward. believing that he had come from the sky. He was so tall that we reached only to his waist, and he was well proportioned. So this tribe of people in Patagonia, it wasn't just Magellan's group. Francis Drake's chaplain wrote about meeting these very tall 7.5-foot people. Anthony Nevitt, who was another one of the people, found a dead body that was 12 feet tall. William Adams, who was aboard Tierra La Fuega, reported a violent encounter between a ship's crew and these super, super tall natives. This kept popping up again and again and again, all the way until 1766. A rumor leaked upon the return to the Great Britain that the crew of the HMS Dolphin had seen a tribe of 9-foot natives in Patagonia. So there are some, I don't know, they've talked about it and considered it a hoax. However, there's a lot of writings about these groups of gigantic Patagonian people.
It almost seems like they even say that it wasn't only like the men, but the women were almost equally as tall.
Yeah, they were super tall. There's actually really cool drawings of it. There's of these just giant people that they met. So
and here's what's even crazier is, though, a lot of those accounts have them as unnaturally tall, there are photographs made of during the late 18th century, so the late 1800s, 19th century, so 1800s, and all of the people are average about 7 feet in the area. With these photographs that are in the Library of Congress. So making it that they were unnaturally just
we just had super tall people.
Do you guys know that the Prussian King Frederick Williams wanted to breed giant soldiers? And so he would take tall soldiers and pair them with tall women, and pretty much just...
When was this?
It was in this latter, it would have been the early 1700s, it looks like.
Oh, because I was going to say Hitler tried doing that.
You did? Yeah.
Made a super soldier with methamphetamine.
Lots of
What the sad thing is that ultimately, like, there was some people that came out really tall, but the health issues were tremendously large because of it.
Listen, there's rumors that that's happening nowadays in China. That
breeding.
That Yao Ming is literally a controlled birth, and the reason that he's so tall is that he was
bred that way.
He was bred that way.
Conspiracies.
And that brings me to our dear friend Robert Twaddlow. For those of you who don't know who Robert Twaddlow is, he is the tallest man ever recorded, verified. Tallest man ever recorded. He was, I believe, 8 feet 11 inches or 8 feet 7 or something.
8 feet 11.
8 feet 11 inches when he passed away, and he was
with
only
a wingspan of 9'5".
9'5".
Yeah.
And here's the thing: is he was only in his 20s.
He was 22 when he died.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is his type of gigantoism or whatever it's called.
Gigantism.
He would have continuously grown, so he would have been.
Sure.
Much taller if he lived longer, but because of an illness that he had is what he gave. But he was 6 feet tall by the time he was 10 years old.
8 years old.
8 years old.
He was 8 years old and 6 feet tall. By the time he was 10 years old, he was 6'5". He was huge. At 1 year old, or 18 months, he was taller than my 2 youngest children.
Yeah. Huge
man, but a very gentle, very loving fellow.
Yeah.
Very accommodating. He was known as the gentle giant.
Mm-hmm. And was very, very educated as well.
Yep.
The thing that he did is he actually was a marketing scheme done by a shoe store.
Yeah, he was almost like a shoe
salesman.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what he did because of his freakishly huge feet.
Size 37.
Yep, size 37.
Wow.
So about twice as mine. That's how big his feet were.
What people don't talk about a lot with Robert Wadlow is not necessarily that he was tall, because he was super tall, but he was also freakishly strong.
Yes.
Like his grip strength, they said, was so unbelievable that he would bend still with his hands and not even like break a sweat. And remember, this is a 22-year-old kid.
Yeah.
But can you just imagine at 10 years old when he was 6'5" and having this unbelievable strength? Makes you wonder if David and Goliath, maybe Goliath had this disease and was only like a 15-year-old kid.
And that's very possibility, you know. The other thing that was crazy with him having strength is I watched a documentary where in college he still did some college shenanigans where he would take people's hat and hang it up on a chandelier or something. But if he was mad, which was very rare, he would take people and hang them up by their collar to a point that they couldn't get down. He would just lift them up with one hand and put them up there. And so he was a very tall, very strong individual. And the reason for a lot of his problems was his feet. It wasn't necessarily his height and his problem with height, because he was actually proportionate, but it was his feet that caused his problems.
Yeah, he had a brace.
Yep.
And that brace actually led to an infection, and that's what killed him.
Yep. And so he weighed up to 439 pounds, but looked like a stick.
His coffin weighed 1,000 pounds.
Yep. And had to have, it says, if I remember,
12 pallbearers.
12 pallbearers.
And 8 assistants.
I can only imagine.
When we lifted our grandpas, which weighed probably twice as much as that.
1 ton.
It was 1 ton. No, his was a lead-based and probably weighed upwards of 600
Yeah, it was
pounds.
about 400 or 500 pounds, that's for sure.
That thing
Here's all his
almost
grandsons.
killed us. And you've seen pictures of us now on our Twaddling Along Podcast social
We're not
media.
small people.
We're not small people, but we had a hard time lifting that thing.
We'd be considered giants of the old day.
Yeah.
But giants in the width way.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, they're giants.
We'd be part of the Fat Club in New York in the early 1900s.
Yeah, we would.
Hey, we would have been considered, really wealthy in royalty status.
We would.
Do you realize that King Henry
Instead of unhealthy.
King Henry VIII was considered obese and overly huge by the time he weighed what we weigh? Anyway.
Well,
How tall was he? He was 6'2".
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a big guy.
How much is his weight? I want to know.
I think he got up to 400 or 500 pounds.
He had, let's see here. Oh, so he grew from an athletic 32-inch waist. Hey, I'm glad to think 32 inches is an athletic waist. I'm not there, but I was once upon a time. To 400 pounds with a 54-inch waist at the time of his death.
Nice. All right. And just because we've gone this far and come closer, we need to talk about Andre the Giant.
let's talk about Mr. Andre for a second.
Andre the Giant, the 8th wonder of the world, was ginormous. He was 7 feet 4 inches, weighed 520 pounds at his highest, but had the strength of a freaking elephant. He would throw people. He would not give people the light of day if they didn't respect him. And overall, a good guy.
He really was. So he was big right from the get-go. He was 13 pounds, and they noticed pretty much right off the bat that he had like the signs of what we would consider to be gigantism.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, there wasn't much that they could do. However, he used to talk about that his mother was 5'2", his father was 6'2", and that his grandfather was 7'8". I don't know if that's necessarily true, but he did have a lot. He was freakishly strong, but he did have a lot of health problems.
He did have a lot of health problems, and he drank like 6 sailors combined.
Yeah, which didn't really help because it wasn't that he just didn't.
What is a sigler?
What?
Did you say sigler?
No, a sailor.
Oh, drank
like a sailor.
Yeah.
I thought you said he drank 6 siglers, and I was very confused.
That's like 20 vodkas. But he was a massive fellow and had a super low voice. If you want to see his acting skills, Go watch Princess Bride.
I love it.
He drank 106 beers in one sitting.
Yeah, he owns the world record still. And the thing is he probably wasn't even tipsy.
No, he was big enough that I don't think that would have done a whole lot. His body probably processed it as quick as he could.
In one instance, there was a younger WWF person who came in thinking he was all that blonde, beach blonde hair, muscular because of roids, and he was making fun of Andre the Giant and talking bad about his wife. And Andre the Giant, who had already been sitting at the table for several hours drinking, stood up and threw the guy across the parking lot and ended his career as WWF, and went back and drank the rest of the night at the table. Didn't even care.
It is really funny because there are so many stories of him drinking, and he was more than likely what we would consider to be an alcoholic. He was just so big that the amount that he had to drink was good. But Carrie Ewells talks about him falling on top of somebody while drunk.
That's Wesley from Princess Bride.
Did you know that there was an urban legend that said because of the amount of alcohol he drank and how big he was, they couldn't actually put him under?
Really?
An anesthesiologist didn't have a dosage that actually worked for him.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Stories have been circulated that he once ate a dinner of 16, good heavens, sorry, ounce steaks and 15 lobsters in one sitting.
I'm not surprised. But he was a giant. The thing is, as many people know, WWE, WWF, it's all fake. Surprise. They do get injured, but it's all an act. But there were some times that Andre the Giant had to make sure people knew that he was the biggest. And so he would go against script, especially with Hulk Hogan. Well,
and there's living people nowadays that are just as big. I mean, there's
Khan, the great, is it the Great Khan?
The Sultan Kosin? Or who are you talking about?
Let me look him up. Hold on. What's his name?
Great Khan. I don't know.
Oh, what's his name?
There's John Rogan. He was 8'9".
Big Show's 7 foot.
Who's the tallest person you've ever been against? That you've actually seen in real life?
I worked with a guy at Target that was 7 foot. I want to say he was 7'5".
Whoa.
Yeah. So, and he used to comment. He said, he's like, I hate going to places, but he said the only great place I've ever been to is he went to Jerry Sloan's house,
and he
was actually able to fit in doors and stuff.
The Great Khali is who I meant.
I don't know.
He was WWE star, massive, 7'1".
I met Greg Ostertag once. I think he was 7'2".
I walked near...
Was Greg Ostertag that big?
Yeah, he was really tall.
I walked near Thurl Bailey. Let's see how tall Thurl Bailey is. He was upwards.
Yeah, Greg Ostertag was 7'2".
Yeah,
because I met him too. That's a long time ago. Wow.
Thurl Bailey was 6'11", and I've walked near Thurl Bailey before.
I consider myself a big guy. And, we're 6 foot, 6'1", and there's not a lot of times where I get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But there are occasions where I'll walk by someone who's 6'8" and also my size, not skinny 6'8", but we're talking muscular 6'8", and you're like, oh my gosh.
This guy can pummel me.
He could hurt me.
He could kill me with
He's
one
probably
pinky.
going to hurt me.
Yeah.
So
giants. Don't mess around with giants.
Yeah, we got into a lot of the folklore and everything in giants. It would be interesting to talk about giants that people have purported to see now.
Yeah.
Because there are some paranormal stories that are out there of giants, specifically giants that exist in the hills around California that are not seen, giants that live in the caves in Italy. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's still some stories out there. We sometimes think that the paranormal stories kind of go away, but there's still some there.
There are
And
some
they can be a little creepy.
uncontacted tribes.
Yep, uncontacted tribes that are really tall.
Mm-hmm.
Or the other thing we didn't talk about is moving away from the giants, humans, and the giant animals that people have seen.
Yep.
Giant snakes.
Anacondas that
Anaconda,
fill
man.
entire rivers
Yeah.
in the Amazon.
Or
Crocodiles.
giant crocodiles that are 30 or 40 feet long.
Yep.
Giant fish.
Giant, yeah. I mean, you
So
think
we'll
Moby
have to-
Dick.
We'll have to maybe do a giants part 2.
That is true. Because there's a lot of giant things out there. Not just people.
There's a lot of big things out there.
You know what?
I almost said my ego.
And sometimes those giant things need to just be taken down a notch. Dang it. No, but they're things that you don't want to mess around with because they are super strength and
My ego.
yeah, you don't want to mess with it.
Well, everybody, thank you for joining us on this week's Twaddling Along.
We freaking twaddle through this.
We twaddle hard.
Talked about religious things. We talked about
My love of beans.
We talked about Danny's love of beans
Yeah.
and kidneys. We talked about Disney World.
Josh's illness.
We talked about
Yes.
Josh's illness.
But we didn't talk about the greatest thing that happened to me this past week. Everyone, I've been complaining that I've just been a freaking college student for like 50 years, but it's done.
It's done.
I'm
Josh
a
is
graduate.
officially a
Is
college
graduated.
So
Yay.
now we're actually, all three of us are educated
We are
professionals.
educated. Can you
I don't
believe
know if
that listening to
professionals is the
this?
word I would use, but
Now there's some educational backing to what we say.
I don't
If anybody is actually listening to us for any kind of good things,
I say if people are listening to us to actually learn something new,
You're better off with Wikipedia.
which is where we get all our information from.
speaking of that, we are going to be coming back next week with another episode. There will be the human condition, and it will be me.
You.
Yeah, and I haven't decided what we're going to talk about, but I think that it's probably going to have
Freaking
something
Saturday,
to do with
Danny.
the human condition.
Date this freaking video, Jake.
Gosh.
We've said frickin' a lot in this one.
You know what?
We have
Frickin'
made
good.
ourselves about as Utah
Have I
as
said
possible. Yeah, you guys have both said frickin' a lot.
I do like saying freaking.
I also like saying for
How-
what?
For what?
How's my so been? Because I've been really working hard on not saying
I don't
so.
think you've said so a lot.
Said so? You fell for it.
All right, final words, Jake.
Oh.
Jake is going to the AI. He's going to have the AI do it.
And Danny. No. Don't leave your house.
Giants. Isn't it about their size? This has been a message from Jacob McBride. And I look forward to being able to hear from you next week. Please send emails to emails@twaddlingalong.com. Also, please let me know if you're really tired of my voice, because I'm more than happy to, kind of be a little more quiet during these.
Jake, I
people-
think you said
the
one
comment-
line.
I was going to say the comments that I get the most is Jake needs to talk more.
And
you
attached
really?
to that is Jake needs to talk more. Josh needs to shut his trap.
You guys, you're not supposed to ask for me to talk more.
Jake needs to talk more.
I want to talk less, especially during the history, which I was in charge of last time. Just in case you didn't listen to that one, I was rather proud of it.
It was really
Marathons.
good. The marathon was a really
the
good one.
Olympics are going on right now, so you
We've
should
had
listen
some
to it.
Positive comments.
I've
about
only
it.
seen like 2 views on Facebook and or YouTube, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I haven't seen many views. So,
But then again, our picture didn't go through for that one either, Danny.
it didn't?
No.
Oh, I didn't even notice. I'll re-upload it. Final thoughts for me. Giants.
You can tell it's a good podcast
Jake.
when we can think of a final thought.
James and the Giant Peach
James of the Giant
is
Peach.
a great movie, and everybody should watch it. Okay, go ahead, Josh. End us.
Well, that was your final
That
thought.
was my final thought.
My gosh, this has been a crap show. And I'm so grateful we are at the end. Just so you're aware,
A crap show, huh?
giants probably had big craps. And that's what built the pyramid.
Do they have big crabs? Because, I don't see big crabs roaming around as much right now.
Crabs?
Yeah, he didn't say crap.
It's
very
true.
well.
He didn't.
So,
Well,
What Josh is talking about is fecal matter, which is inappropriate for most audiences.
Okay, then
this
I'll
would
say
get us
this.
a PG-13. Did you know that?
literally,
The amount
just
of
talk
time
about
that Josh
poop.
talks about poop would give us a PG-13 rating.
which is sad because PG-13 allows 2 F words. Fart and fart.
Well, I'm not going to say it. Thank you all for joining
Wait,
us.
no, I wasn't done yet.
Well,
Freaking.
hurry up.
We forgot to bring up the folklore that the pyramids were built by giants.
That's true.
And that's my thought.
I thought
That's
they were built
what
by
they
aliens.
I thought they were built by
Mammoths that pooped a lot.
mammoths. Once again, bringing up the poop. Thank you all. We will see you next week.
Are you a giant?
Josh is just bringing it in the rear.